Have you ever wondered why the kindness you genuinely show is sometimes taken for granted? Why is it that when you do something good from the bottom of your heart, instead of gratitude, you're met with indifference, or even worse, disdain, or perhaps people start seeing your willingness to help as an obligation, as if you owe them something? Why does this happen? Why does something that should inspire respect and admiration sometimes have the opposite effect? The truth is, this is a complex and multi-layered issue. Society has an unspoken rule: kindness is good, and being kind is a virtue. But the paradox lies in the fact that if you're too kind, people begin to treat you as if you're simply always available, always accommodating. They stop noticing your efforts. It's like giving someone sunlight every single day, yet no one ever considers how much it costs you to keep that light burning. The problem is that kindness is often associated with weakness. People subconsciously believe that if you're always willing to help, always prioritizing others' needs above your own, it means you can't say no. It means you can't defend your boundaries. And that leads to disrespect. Respect is built not only on admiration but also on the perception of someone as strong and confident. But here's where things get interesting. Kindness itself is not the problem. The problem lies in how you demonstrate it and what boundaries you set. People begin to take advantage of your kindness when you yourself allow them to. It sounds harsh, but think about it. Haven't you noticed that the more you give in, the more people demand? Think back to any situation where you did something kind for someone, spending your time, energy, or money only to receive a half-hearted thanks in return, or maybe not even that, a simple nod before they continue to expect even more from you. It's disheartening, isn't it? And why does this happen? Because people develop a strange mechanism. They start to see your kindness as something they're entitled to, and anything that feels like an entitlement loses its value. But there's another side to the coin. Sometimes people perceive kindness as weakness, not because they want to hurt you, but because of how they themselves were raised or shaped. Each of us carries experiences from childhood, family, or school. Perhaps someone was taught that being kind means being vulnerable, and vulnerability for some equals weakness. So when they see your kindness, they interpret it through their own lens, shaped by their past. They may not even realize it, but their reaction is based on their beliefs, not your actions. And here lies the big question. What can you do about it? How can you remain kind while ensuring that people don't walk all over you? How can you maintain respect without losing your humanity? I'll try to answer these questions soon, but first let me ask you a simple question. How often do you say yes when, deep down, you really want to say no? If you recognized yourself in any of the situations I just described, then you absolutely need to stick around until the end of this video. Soon, I'll share how to set boundaries in a way that doesn't come off as aggressive, but still protects your personal space. Stay with me. Now here's the most fascinating part. Kindness perceived as weakness is not a sentence. You can be kind and still command respect. Want to know the secret? It's all about how you position yourself. People don't always consciously decide whether to respect you or not. It often happens on an emotional, intuitive level, sometimes even based on a first impression. And this is where one of the most powerful insights comes in. Kindness without boundaries ceases to be kindness. It turns into convenience for others. Think about it. If you're always available, always ready to help, always accommodating, no matter how you feel inside, it can come across as if you have no interests of your own, as if you're putting yourself in second place. And if you don't respect yourself enough, why should others? This is the subtle point many people miss. Kindness doesn't mean agreeing to everything. Kindness is about choosing who to help and in what situations you truly want to give. It's about realizing that your resources, time, energy, emotions are valuable and finite. But why is it so hard to say no? Why, even when you realize you're being taken advantage of, do you still agree? The surprising answer lies in fear. Yes, fear. Fear of being misunderstood. Fear of being labeled as rude or unkind. Fear of losing people's approval. This fear runs so deep that many don't even notice it. They just keep doing more than they can, and then wonder why it doesn't bring them happiness, but instead leaves them drained. Now I want you to stop for a moment and ask yourself another crucial question. When was the last time you helped someone because you genuinely wanted to, not because you felt obligated? This question can reveal a lot. But I'm not done yet. The most important part is still ahead. I'll show you how to change your behavior so that your kindness doesn't turn into your weakness. How to make sure people not only appreciate your help, but also respect you for it. This isn't about becoming harsh or cold. It's about being strong and confident while staying a kind-hearted person. Think it's difficult? Maybe, but it's absolutely doable, and I'll show you how to make it happen. Stick with me, because what comes next will break down the practical steps you can take. We'll talk about building healthy boundaries, learning to say no without guilt, and breaking free from the need for others' constant approval. This will be the most important part, because it's here that you'll learn how to balance kindness and respect. And perhaps you'll discover that this balance holds not only your strength, but also your true happiness. Why does kindness lead to disrespect? Do you ever wonder why the kindness you sincerely show is sometimes taken for granted? Why is it that when you do something good from the heart, instead of receiving gratitude, you're met with indifference, or worse, disdain? Or perhaps people start seeing your willingness to help as an obligation, as if you owe them something. Why does this happen? Why does something that should inspire respect and admiration sometimes have the opposite effect? Here's what's important to understand. Kindness itself has never been the problem. The real issue lies in how we present it and how it's perceived by others. You can be kind, but if you don't know how to establish boundaries, others will begin to see you as someone who's always available, always ready to help, always accepting everything. And now, let me ask you, is that really the impression you want to create for yourself? Picture this. There's someone who helps everyone around them, does everything they're asked and rarely says no because they're afraid of upsetting others. They're always polite, always trying to be accommodating. And what do they get in return? Gratitude, occasionally. But far more often, they face growing demands, more and more and more. And the most upsetting part? Instead of receiving respect, they get the opposite. They're taken for granted. Now imagine someone else. This person is also kind. They help others, but they do so selectively. They say yes only when they truly want to help, not because they feel pressured or guilty. They know how to say no calmly, firmly, and without anger. This person respects themselves. And do you know what happens? Their kindness is appreciated. People respect their boundaries because they demonstrate how they expect to be treated. Here's the main insight. People will respect you only as much as you respect yourself. If you consistently prioritize others' needs over your own, people will begin to believe that you see yourself as less important. And the truth is, others will always pick up on how you present yourself. But how can you learn to set boundaries without feeling like a bad person? Here's one key idea. Saying no is not an act of aggression. It's simply a choice. You can't help everyone all the time, and that's okay. When you say no, it doesn't mean you've become less kind. It means you value your time, your resources, and your energy. Here's something interesting. The people who genuinely value you will never be offended by your refusal. They'll understand. They know that kindness is not an infinite resource, but those who get upset, those who start blaming or manipulating you, those are the people who never truly valued you in the first place. Now I want you to remember one thing. Kindness is your strength, but it only becomes a strength when you feel it as one. When you understand that being kind is your choice, not your obligation. When you realize that boundaries aren't walls that separate you from others, but bridges that allow your kindness to shine genuinely. Take a moment to reflect on your life. Think of all the times you said yes when you wanted to say no. The times you felt used but didn't know how to stop it. Now imagine that you can change that. Imagine being kind but also strong. Imagine offering your kindness to people who truly appreciate it without feeling drained in the process. This is all possible, and here's how to make it happen. let's talk about the most important steps to solve this problem. How to remain kind without letting others take advantage of your kindness, and how to maintain respect for yourself and from others. First, understand your boundaries. Your boundaries protect you, your time, and your energy. Remember, saying no isn't rude. It's a tool that helps you be honest with yourself and others. Say yes only when you genuinely want to help, not because you feel obligated. If you respond out of fear or guilt, you're betraying yourself. Start small. Practice saying no in situations where it truly matters to you. Second, don't over-explain your decisions. If you choose to refuse, there's no need to write lengthy justifications or apologize excessively. Simply say, "I'm sorry, I can't help right now." People who respect you will understand. Those who don't are likely just trying to manipulate your feelings. Remember, you have the right to choose where to direct your energy. Third, ask yourself important questions. When someone asks for your help, take a moment to pause and ask yourself, why do I want to do this? Is it truly my desire, or am I just afraid to say no? This simple internal dialogue will help you make conscious decisions instead of acting on autopilot. Fourth, assess your resources. We all have limits, and that's okay. You can't help everyone at all times because you're not a superhero. This doesn't make you a bad person. On the contrary, when you take care of yourself, you can be more effective and helpful where it really matters. And finally, surround yourself with the right people. People who truly value you will never demand the impossible or be offended by your refusal. They'll respect you because they know your kindness is genuine and not driven by guilt or fear. These are the people who inspire and support you, not those who drain you. In conclusion, being kind is an incredible strength, but it only becomes a strength when you take responsibility for how you use it. Don't be afraid to set boundaries. Don't be afraid to refuse. Don't be afraid that people will stop loving you because of your no. True kindness isn't about being convenient for others. It's a choice made from love and respect for yourself and those around you. If you want your kindness to be appreciated, start valuing it yourself. Respect yourself, and others will respect you. Now think about this. What can you do today to stop giving more than you can afford? Share your thoughts in the comments. Tell us about your experiences, your feelings, your ideas. Your story might inspire someone else. And if you found this video helpful, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell. We have many more conversations ahead about how to become stronger, more confident, and happier while staying true to yourself. Thank you for watching till the end. Take care of yourself and your boundaries. See you in the next video.